We are now less than a month from Destination D23, the biggest Disney fan event of the year. And like always, everyone is speculating what that will mean for the future of the Disney parks and experiences around the globe. Last year, we saw what was the largest D23 Expo ever, not only in terms of size, but also in what was announced. Countless projects for every single Disney Parks resort, with announcements we'll quickly go over in a minute. Some that we were expecting and others that were incredibly surprising. This year the event will be smaller, this because the larger D23 Expo happens every 2 years, and in between Destination D23 fills the void. This smaller event happens at Walt Disney World, usually in the Contemporary, but this year it got an upgrade to the larger convention center at Disney's Coronado Springs, the largest Disney-owned convention space in the resort, which tells us that this could be the biggest Destination D23 to date. The event will last 3 days, starting on the 29th. While the schedule is still to be posted, I believe the Parks panel, as it's usually called, will be on the 30th. Usually this event is more focused on Walt Disney World, and I don't expect this year to be any different. However, I do expect that other resorts will have their own time to shine as well. So, with that said, let's see what to expect for the Disney parks around the world from this year's Destination D23. Let us start in Asia. Last year, Josh D'Amaro announced brand new Marvel-themed editions for Shanghai and Hong Kong Disneyland. We were expecting Shanghai's new roller coaster and Miniland themed to Spider-Man because of construction permits and site plans. However, Hong Kong's Spider-Man themed Tower of Terror came as a surprise, at least to me. This year, we should get an update on both of these projects. Seeing Shanghai is now well underway, a construction update could well be in the cards alongside some new details and maybe concept arts. I would also like to see some new details on the brand new hotel, now well under construction, joining the already existing Toy Story Hotel and Shanghai Disneyland Hotel. When it comes to Hong Kong, there hasn't been much development on their project yet, but that's no reason for the resort to be ignored. As it celebrates its 20th anniversary, and after ending last year with record-breaking attendance and profitability, Hong Kong's future is looking good. I expect we'll get a mention regarding the celebrations, and maybe some more information on the Spider-Man project, perhaps with an outside concept art, and even details regarding the Pixar experience coming to Toy Story Land. There isn't much known about this, but hopefully that changes soon. I do not expect anything new regarding Tokyo Disney Resort, as it's not owned nor operated by the Walt Disney Company, but some kind of construction showcase of the new Space Mountain could be very interesting. For the first time in nearly 10 years, a new Disney resort is on the horizon. This year, Disney announced that a new Disney park will soon emerge from the sands of Abu Dhabi in a major partnership between the Walt Disney Company and Miral, who owns the major Yas Island theme park resort with SeaWorld Abu Dhabi, Yas Water World, Warner Bros. World, and Ferrari World. There's been a lot said and shared on what this new generation Disney park will be like, yet nothing is actually known. I don't expect Disney to reveal too much, except mention that Imagineering is hard at work developing this brand new theme park, and perhaps share some more concrete information. This is also a good time to talk about other non-park announcements. Disney is investing heavily into their cruise business, and as of late, this has been taking more and more time during these events. It wouldn't be one without some announcements and details on the new, larger ships that will soon be cruising around the world. I could see some names being revealed alongside other details and artworks. I think there's a good chance we'll hear more about the Disney and Epic Games project that was announced last year. This that aims to bring younger generations in contact and to play with countless Disney properties like Marvel, Pixar, and Star Wars. Let's now go check Disneyland. The resort got plenty to play with last year, with Disney California Adventure receiving the most attention. From a major expansion featuring 2 rides of Avengers Campus, to a new Coco attraction, and finally the Avatar Land. As I said before, Destination D23 is more focused on Disney World, but the Disneyland Resort should make an appearance too. Keeping in theme with the Asian parks, I don't expect any new major announcements, but rather updates on already announced ones. I think Avatar and Infinity Defense could take the spotlight with new information on what the ride experiences will be like. Coco 2 with maybe a new concept art and even perhaps some word on the Disneyland Forward proposal, maybe including the new entrance plaza that will completely reshape that side of the resort. While I don't think it will happen, I would love to see something regarding Tomorrowland, but that seems to be something Disney is not yet ready to commit to. I feel like the news will be rather light when it comes to California this time around, but would happily be proven wrong. Before jumping to Walt Disney World, let's now go over to Disneyland Paris, where last year it got more than we were expecting in the form of a new nighttime spectacular for the new Disney Adventure World Park, another for the Disneyland Park, the opening year of Adventure World and the World of Frozen, and the official announcement of the Lion King Land, with our first look into what to expect. Now, this year I don't see a lot of time being spent on Paris, but there's an important thing going for the resort, and that is that in 2026, the biggest expansion in the history of the Parisian parks will finally open to guests in the form of Disney Adventure World. The major expansion will nearly double the footprint of the Walt Disney Studios park, with huge new areas to enjoy and relax, plus 2 new rides, Tangled Spin and Frozen Ever After in the new World of Frozen section of the park. New stores, restaurants, and more will also be featured alongside a lot of new entertainment, including the big new nighttime spectacular in the middle of the lake, Adventure Bay. This will surely be a major event, and the biggest of the year in the Disney Parks world in 2026. With this, I cannot see tomorrow ignoring it this Destination D23. But what could he talk about? Well, from new details regarding entertainment and the nighttime spectacular, since we barely know anything about it, to the opening month of the expansion. In the end, there's quite a bit to talk about, and the construction display and update on the expansion, I think, is likely to be showcased. It's also worth noting that a lot of focus has been put on the newly announced Lion King Land ever since it was first mentioned a year ago, and I truly believe it won't be overlooked here, maybe with some new and fresh details about the area and the major e-ticket attraction. When it comes to other announcements, unfortunately I don't think much will happen, but hope is the last to die. So I'll throw the Disneyland Park into consideration. It would be great to see a new nighttime parade or a retheme to Space Mountain finally announced. Hey, I did talk about Discoveryland's Tomorrowland, so in terms of chances, this doesn't seem that far-fetched. Let's now make our way to Walt Disney World, where the focus should be during this event. Last year, a lot was announced for the largest resort in Disney's portfolio, with something for each of the parks. Epcot saw the new version of Test Track, Hollywood Studios the transformation of Muppet Courtyard into Monsters Inc., Animal Kingdom the new Tropical America's Land with Coco, Encanto, and Indiana Jones, and the Magic Kingdom the Cars Land transformation in Frontierland and Villain's Kingdom. Since then, smaller things have also been announced, like the new Walt Disney Studios area in Hollywood Studios, that was very well received, which begs the question, why not wait a month to announce it during the fan-filled event? Well, once again, I think the majority of the time will be spent in providing new information and details on what has already been announced, with more focus on projects that are scheduled to open sooner, like the Tropical Americas, where we barely know anything regarding the Encanto attraction, the Cars Land in the Magic Kingdom with new details on the ride system and storyline, and the Monsters Inc. land. I would also love to get some more concrete information regarding villains, which is one of the most exciting things coming to the resort in my opinion. Others include a new look into the Muppets retheme of Rock and Roller Coaster, the refurbishment of Big Thunder Mountain, and of Buzz Lightyear's Space Ranger Spin. Like I did with Paris and Anaheim, let's throw a couple of unlikely yet very much appreciated possibilities into the ring. A rework of Space Mountain with a retrack and new effects would be incredible and makes sense now that Big Thunder Mountain will soon reopen. More Muppets Summer in the Parks would also be great, and how could I end without speaking about Figment? It would truly be incredible if the staple attraction of Epcot and Disney World finally got the respect it deserves with a big rework. Now, last year I think we were all very surprised by the sheer amount of announcements for all the Disney resorts around the world. I know I wasn't expecting it. While I would love to just say that this time around things will be the same, I don't think that will happen. The larger announcements are usually reserved for the larger D23 expos, but that does not mean that some surprising news won't be shared later this month. In the end, I feel like this Destination D23 will focus on what the shovels on the ground, like Josh likes to say, have been doing and have done so far, with a few new details on those projects, and maybe smaller announcements here and there. With that said, which of my predictions would you want to see the most? Or what's something I didn't include that you think might be announced? Let me know down below. And now, as always, thank you for watching, and that's a wrap.